Hi, welcome back to my female rap tarot reading saga. This one will be about Ice Spice and Latto, and it will be about how everything is going on between them and what is the energy, and how will this eventually end? Because there's also pettiness and just like self shade going on between them, and it's kind of like what they're finally like taking it to the booth and just rapping about it, but at the same time it's not enough, like just talk it all the way out instead of just keep going back and forth with all that stuff, and just put an end to it basically. It's all started, I think, from Latto acting like she didn't know who Ice Spice was, at the BET Awards, I think, when on the carpet. So when they told her to finish the lyrics and she acted like she didn't know the song. I think it was the one that made Ice Spice famous, which was trending on TikTok all around. I guess I do not know that's because I'm not a fan of hers. I only heard a few songs that include Nicki and some of her latest, I think, EP or something. But other than that, I really do not listen to her nor care about her as much. But I do have a favorite verse of hers, which was I think on Barbie World, and that's it. Other than that, I respect the fact that she is finally kind of stepping up her pen game. But other than that, really, I have nothing else to say about her. But yeah, there is a lot of just tension, just kind of pettiness between them, because it all started from then. And then the Twitter fans and everybody keeps like fooling this up by saying that she's copying her and copying Latto and everything. I gotta give it to her though, like everybody just poses differently in pictures and everything. But yeah, and then it just kept getting I'd say even more like pettier and funnier to me, but not entertaining. It just kept getting funnier when Nicki decided to hop on Princess Diana, the Princess Diana remix. And I think that's I think that she was shading Latto in there too by saying thinking you bigger that then get like your head gassed or some stuff like that, because believe me, I only listen to Nicki's verse in that song. Other than that, it's screw the other girl. But all bias aside, I really do not care about stuff like that, but we shall see what is going on between them. Let's see. Oh, hold on. And then what killed me the most, which was, I'm kind of giving like a rundown with everything for like people who do not keep up with that stuff, which made it even more like funnier to me, was the fact that like the various sound of Latto, which is like thank you to my man. I think, yeah, thank you to my man, because I kept repeating that stuff when I'm single. But when the other one when Ice received her Billboard award, I think, or stuff like that recently, she started to kind of like quote that by saying, and my fans, thank you to my fans and stuff like that. So it just keeps getting more interesting. So we're gonna see. We're gonna tap into that and see. Let's see. What is the current energy between Ice Spice and Latto? Latto and Ice Spice. Latto and Ice Spice. What's the current energy between Latto and Ice Spice? Yeah, they do not fuck with one another at all. They do not see eye to eye. There is a lot of pride here, lots of feeling like, you came for me, so I'm coming for you. I'm coming for your spots. You think, you got all the highlights and, you are doing something, but it's definitely not what you think it is. Where is the card that flew? I do not know, but there was a card here that was flipped over. But anyway, as I was saying, they do not see eye to eye. One is, okay, so what's funny or what's interesting here is the fact that one thinks that she's the star, meanwhile she isn't, which is Latto, because she kind of needs to tone it down, because literally if we compare both of them, I think we would see that Ice Spice is getting more accolades and success than Latto is ever getting currently. I hate to admit that, but it's very true. she's more hyped up than her. And I think we know why, because she got a remix with Nicki. She got a remix with Taylor Swift. Therefore, more people are going to love her, which includes like the Swifties and everything. And if you got douche behind you, of course they're going to hype you up even more. And oh my god, the fact that they keep changing wigs and everything is giving my head like a run for it. It's money right now. Like my scalp is itching. But as I was saying, there is definitely lots of tension between them, lots of not seeing eye to eye. They do not mess with one another like that. More fire is just added to the equation, because this is not going to, end in a kind of like I say, like they won't settle unless one of them just moves on to bigger things or better things. But it won't just kind of like take a bigger or a better turn, because it will just keep getting, I don't want to say worse, but it will keep getting a little bit more awkward until one of them just wins, or one of them is just the bigger person and decides to just stop addressing the other one, or just acknowledging her existence. There it goes. Yeah. But there is such a stubborn energy here, and the fact that they're both Capricorns is like saying a lot. I think both are Capricorn women, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, one is just being in her element and not making very much of a quick moves. One is just planning to do stuff and do more and more and more, while the other one is just feeling like a little bit under the weather. There is definitely some they definitely got into their feelings when this happened. Like no matter what they say, they definitely are feeling a certain type of way about everything that is occurring between them, and they're definitely watching one another. Like no matter what they say, no matter how they act, I don't want to say that they kind of like people are going to kind of like push this even more to kind of make another Kim and Foxy, or like Nicki and Cardi situation out of both women. But they're definitely going to keep listening to the streets, or just like the fans and everything is going to take another turn. Like yeah, people definitely get into their ears about one another. There is definitely some heavy manipulation on here. I don't want to say there is magic involved, but shit, it might be. But let us see. What is the energy between Latto and Spice? Yeah, there is definitely some hidden agendas between the two ladies. There are definitely lots of plans that are not being shared right now, but they're definitely being done and kind of like happening behind the scenes that we won't see, but definitely is going to create some blockages. Either on their careers or on some of their plans. Definitely something is going to be sabotaged for one of those two ladies, and it's going to eat at them alive. It's going to create some anxiety for them. It's going to really kind of mess up their schedule, or it's going to put a dent in something that one of them has been planning. Okay, let's see. Latto and Spice. It's funny because I can feel Ice's confusion. Like, where did that stem from? Like, where did this come from? Like, I thought that we were cool. Like, what's happened? But child, temptations, thinking that you definitely are like bigger than upcoming people and everything, and her just coming right up after you and just sweeping everything under the rug. And just basically coming for that spot that you thought that you had, like the spot that you were thinking of claiming. Even like with the Cardi B accolades and everything, it still isn't enough for her. And yeah, it's kind of like balance is being restored, but at the same time, like at what sake, kinda, as I was saying, like at what sake? Because as we could tell, many opportunities are presented to Ice Spice and better ones and bigger ones, because she knew that she doesn't need to be stuck in the past and that she just needs to be on the move if she wants to make a career for herself. Even if she just wants to kind of like object and just have more time for herself and know and learn how to prioritize her time and her duties better. But she knows that she has to suck it up and just keep going and grinding until she gets whatever she needs and desires. And the other one is just, stuck in her head, stuck in her bubbles, in the bubbles that, like keep kind of getting her head bigger, or thinking that, she is doing way better than other people and everything. I mean, it's good to be, like a positive speaker, but it's not good to be, kind of like just speaking it into existence and acting like, like it's already there, when even if you put in all the work and everything, it's not, fully there. You just kind of have to be considerate and just be realistic with yourself, even if, you're envisioning everything, but at the same time, know what to say out loud and know what to keep to yourself until it's happening, So yeah, this is just like the general energy between them. They do not mess with one another. One is, experiencing more wealth than the other one, even by, making kind of like smaller decisions or choices, or kind of like her presence isn't, as present as persistent or as present as the other one, but she definitely knows, she's definitely being pushed and guided to make better decisions, and she is letting people who are taking control over her just guide her through this and hold her hand through this. And she's also being kind of like mentored by Nikki, as she says. She's definitely giving her much more of a push, and she's definitely making the other one feel much more jealous and much more less accomplished, because she has been dreaming of that for so long, and another one just came in and swooped her right up under her nose. Now I see some traveling for both of them, traveling around and just performing and stuff like that. Plus I think Ice Spice is going to perform or be an opening act for Doja Cat in her Scarlet tour. Oh, don't remind me to just like do a reading on Doja Cat again. Is going to be up there with Doishi, I think. So yeah, one is choosing better and bigger opportunities for herself rather than the other one. And we can definitely see who is serving everything right, even though Latto got that 7 record with I think one of the BTS members. Oh my god, I hope I'm saying it right. But yeah, I love that record though. It was very, very cute, a bop to me. But yeah, you just need to like make better decisions while being careful and cautious. So now we're going to see how they feel about one another and jump into seeing how will this end. How does Latto feel about Ice Spice? Okay, first thing I heard is, let me tell you something, I don't fuck with that hoe. Oh well, at least we're getting somewhere. She does not appreciate the fact that she was doing the thank you to my man or fans thing. How does Latto feel about Ice Spice? Let's see. How does Latto feel about Ice Spice? It's crazy because Latto is like, I don't have any reason to fear her or kind of like be worried about her. I don't have to worry about her, but she definitely sees like the plans that she makes. She's also seeing her as someone who acts naive, but as someone who is acting naive, and as someone who want the people or want the public to just see them as a goody two shoes, and someone who is not doing anything and all that. But like, she's like, if they know how she is, or like if they actually see her for who she is, then they won't be saying stuff like that at all. She sees her as someone who is, in here for the win or like for the money, or not just because it's her passion. She does not like the fact that the people are backing her up and everybody else. And she sees how she's gaining more momentum and how she's gaining more confidence, and how she's putting herself out there, and that makes her feel very much tense and awkward and feeling like ugh, feeling like she's kind of just losing out to her, and feeling like people aren't going to just keep tuning in if this unless it involves something else. She definitely sees her as someone who is childish, and she is definitely jealous of her. She's definitely jealous of the success and accolades she's getting, and like all the stuff that she is doing for herself. There is lots of like raw emotions that are filling her up. Like she doesn't know whether to feel good about herself, or like happy for her, or just like keep feeling jealous and just keep feeding into the ugly feelings that she keeps getting whenever the girl is mentioned. She definitely does not like her. She doesn't like the fact that she's getting stuff that she thinks that she is supposed to get. She doesn't like the fact that people are just seeing her and seeing more of her, and she's everywhere, even if she wanna like walk away and kind of like escape that. It's kind of like triggering to her. She's definitely jealous. Nobody can tell me otherwise. There are definitely some stemming jealousy feelings around here about how she is gaining more stardom effects and feelings better than her, and how she's taking care of herself, or just presenting herself to the public better than her. I get the feeling, I get that Latto wishes that she didn't do some stuff, wishes that she thought as diplomatically as the other one, or she wished that at times she would let like her mind control her actions, instead of her just acting out irrationally and just out of emotions. But it's crazy because she feels like she feels like she feels like there is no way that's her success. At times it's kind of like authentic, but at the same time it's like everybody needs or needed to do something for them to kind of be fully accepted into the industry and within this world. So it's like nobody is innocent in here. She definitely sees her as a person who is tricky, as a person who like you can get under her skin, but it's like she knows that she won't show it and would just like keep a cool facade. But she's definitely bitter. She's definitely bitter about everything that has encountered between them, and she definitely sees her as someone who is sneaky, or like not to be trusted. She sees her as someone who you wouldn't trust just because of the way she moves and presents herself. But let's get more cards. How does Latto feel about Ice Spice? Oh, sorry. Okay. She definitely sees her as someone who is kind of like no matter how hard they plan or everything, she still lacks. She still sees her as a rookie. She sees her as someone who I'm eating. She sees her as someone who is definitely lacking directions, or like no matter how hard she plans and everything, she is still not going to beat me, or like not be on my level. Definitely sees her as a competition, as a rival. But she definitely sees her as someone who won't just like face her head on, or just come at her head on. She sees her as the sneaky avoidant type of girl, like who will just enjoy being mean behind the scenes, or being mean behind the scenes, but showing the world and other people like a whole other new facade of her when stuff like this occurred, or stuff like this happens. As I said, there is definitely feelings of disappointments and just feeling of like tense feeling about just the fact that she's getting everything that I should be getting. There is definitely jealousy. Oh my god, I just said that. She definitely sees her as someone who is not trustworthy, someone who is very untrustworthy. There is no communication between them. There's lots of tension, lots of imbalance, lots of like, I don't trust you. I wouldn't trust you even if we try to make amends and everything. I wouldn't trust you so fast. She definitely side eye her. If they ever cross paths, she definitely side eye her. I wouldn't think that they would throw hands if ever that happens, but it might be if she's becoming too hot-headed. How does Latto feel about Ice Spice? Yeah, she's definitely feeling like she's an indecisive person, but at the same time she's holding back now. Like, she's not saying anything because she's studying everything, and she's kind of like just getting a feel out of everything. But she would definitely respond back to everything the other one was doing. Like, she sees all that stuff. They're too prideful, like both of them. She sees her as someone who is kind of like a snake or snaky in their ways, and she hates how she is improving and working on herself. Like, I wouldn't say that she wishes that she was her, but she wishes that she would get like similar chances now. Yeah, she would definitely just come at her again and respond back to her. Like, she wouldn't hesitate to do so, because Latto is very hot-headed compared to the other one, while the other one is kind of like very chill and was just try to get under your skin in any way possible, while Latto is like the opposite. She would just lash out or just say whatever she thinks before kind of like just second guessing it or thinking it through. And this is definitely going to be make doubt. This is definitely going to be held onto for a longer while, because it's lots of prideful energy between them, lots of stubbornness. So yeah, now let's see, how does Ice Spice feel about her? Let's see, how does Ice Spice feel about Latto? How does Ice Spice feel about Latto? She's a messy person. I'd say that between the both of them, she would be the one hoping that there's going to be water running under the bridge, but she won't be the one who is going to make amends or reach out, though. No, both of them are petty. Both of them are viewing each other the same way, and both of them do not trust one another. But I can tell that the one who is hurt by this, or who was hurt by this happening, is Ice Spice, because she wasn't expecting that, and she didn't think that it would happen. Like, until now she's kind of confused about where did this come from. But she's definitely she definitely will not back down from this, because they're literally like from the same, they literally kind of share a similar mentality on some things. This is what I'm viewing in my head right now, but I will not say that now. But yeah, as I said, she would be the one saying I wish there was something that could be done to kind of like make this better, but at the same time she's like, it's cool, it's whatever, I got this. Like, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. She's like, I'm getting money, I'm getting recognition, I'm getting recognized. She's smug about this. Oh god, I wouldn't say that. I would say that she's inheriting some of Nikki's tendencies, which is like flexing about stuff, like it's not about staying, on the other person's mind and stuff like that. It's like, whether she likes me or hates me, I know that I'm on her mind non-stop, which is kind of true. But like, be modest. But yeah, she's enjoying the lavish things and everything that she's experiencing. But there's also that air of just like, dissatisfaction, feeling like, she's definitely up to something, and she definitely is going to do something, like she does not trust her. Yeah, they do not trust one another. She also knows that, this is going to take another U-turn in another end, because this isn't going to, like be discussed. And yeah, she definitely sees her as someone who is, too emotional, or who does too much, and who thinks that the world is eaten, from her palm, and thinks that, she got the whole world into a frenzy or whatever. How does Ice Spice feel about Latto? How does Ice Spice feel about Latto? It's like each time she just be looking at her, she's like, she's kind of confused. It's crazy because like she gets confused each time, because like I was listening to her, like I was, messing with her, rocking with her, whatever, but some, let's say, okay, I'll say that she saw how the industry has gotten into her head. She saw how everything kind of like got into her head, and she's like, I don't wish to be like that. She's very disappointed in how things turned out. She sees her as someone who is extremely arrogant, who is extremely toxic, as someone who is extremely like doing too much just to stay on top, who would do a lot to just stay on top. She sees her as someone who is insincere, insecure, as she definitely has some very valid opinions about her relationship with a married man. She's like, how? I can't trust no hoe who is related to a married man, who's like, messing with a married man on the law. Exactly. She definitely judges the shit out of her about some of her choices. It's crazy. She sees her as someone who definitely still has some tricks up her sleeves. She knows that she shouldn't, like, just kind of like let her guards down when it comes to her, and she knows that she's going to strike back at her, and she's waiting on that. Both of them still have something for each other. She sees her as someone who is greedy, but at the same time she sees her as someone who is kind of like getting lazier, or kind of like getting cozier and more, like comfortable in whatever she's doing, to the point that she isn't, planning correctly. It's like, I can't. That song of Iggy Azalea, I started from the bottom and now I'm rich. That's what Ice Spice is telling her. She definitely, as I said, was hurt by how Latto turned on her, or like turned out to be. She didn't expect her to be that way towards her, so it definitely came as a shock to her. How does Ice Spice feel about Latto? Yeah, as I said, let's see, hold on, let me get one more card. She would be open for a conversation, but at the same time, she would want like a face-to-face conversation, because she saw how, like she recorded the one call with Nikki and everything, so therefore she's like, if that was ever offered to me, I would side eye it, but like I would hope that it would have a different outcome. But she's definitely up in her head about lots of stuff when it comes to this, like it's kind of like keeps her preoccupied at times, or kind of like makes her feel like she always has to be careful, or like extra careful with some stuff. She definitely does know that somebody be all up in her ear, gassing her up about certain stuff, which is a male. Would I be surprised if it's 21 Savage? And then didn't get she dates him? Yeah, I think it is him. And she sees her as someone who is like just hanging on by a thin thread. Okay, part 2. She definitely watches her. Okay, I don't know why they keep doing stuff like that. They definitely keep tabs on one another, like literally, and waiting for each one of them to swing. She's definitely frustrated and holding back and angry at Lasso because it hurts her and she wasn't expecting that. Therefore, she's just waiting now for a chance to strike back. Like both of them are just waiting and on the go. Like if one of them says something, I'm hearing, oh, I got something for that ass, basically, like waiting for something to happen. And let's see, let's get more cards. Let's get more cards about this because Lucha, Ice Spice, on Latto. She would definitely not hesitate to just say something because she sees how it's easy to get right under her skin, and she gets too tempted to just do stuff like that and just mess with her. And the devil is the Capricorn card, so she just keeps looking at that stuff and she's like enjoying the hell out of this because it's just enjoyable for her to just see how her success and everything is kind of like baffling her. Therefore, she won't hesitate to shake it some more and shake up the table again. But at this time, she's just not moving and not budging. She's just enjoying. I don't know what is Ice Spice up to right now, but she's definitely kind of like enjoying everything. I do see her practicing and doing something and enjoying her time, but she won't hesitate, as I said, to address a problem if there was in her grasp, not just do the most just like her. But at the same time, when she gets extremely petty and just wants extremely petty and angry and just frustrated with stuff that she be doing, she would just make sure to rub it in each time. And how does she rub it in? By the only way that gets Latto worked up and angry, which is rubbing in her status, rubbing in her success and everything else that she's doing and she's achieving and she's accomplishing. And it definitely works. It definitely works, and it definitely makes her feel less accomplished than the other one, and it definitely kind of fuels her jealousy. So let's see. Yeah, they will like this one another and everything, but let's see how will this ongoing thing end between them, between Ice Spice and Latto. There's definitely going to be lots of imbalance. It's going to get at one point it's going to get excessive at one point, or just like too much at one point. They're definitely going to exchange some words or some like shady words or some tracks. Definitely going to be a back and forth. It's still going to create issues between them, a lot of tensions, and like not messing with one another, but it's still going to make them money and get them some money, even though it's going to mess with their mental health. They're still going to like keep taking jabs at one another. But let's see, will they actually start beefing? Yeah, because something is going to come to light, or something out of pocket is going to be said, or something is definitely like something that was done behind the scenes, or something that kind of like was too hurtful is going to be said or exchanged or something, and it's like, all right, that's it, you crossed the line, you're going to get what you were looking for and what you were supposed to get. Like this is going to be milk, and this beef is going to kind of like keep getting juicier, or just keep avoiding, let's say, the trouble and the feeling of just feeling like I don't want to do this, I don't want to beef with her, I don't want to give it too much attention. But at one point something is definitely going to happen that will definitely trigger lots of emotions, or is going to be stuff that's going to hurt one person. And yeah, it's going to push her anger and her energy towards a project, I don't want to say an album, but like a track or an EP or something that where she will bash the hell out of the other person, or where she will, or like one of them is going to show the other one why is she talented, or why is she running something. Yeah, lots of like no showing mercy, no showing, like too much love or not appreciating anything. Definitely repressing emotions. Definitely some sneaky stuff going on. Definitely, sneak dissing her or sneak dissing one another. Yeah, making lots of money out of this. People are going to be tuned in, and people are definitely going to be, looking this up and stuff like that. It's going to benefit one of them more than the other one, though. There's lots of indecisiveness, like, should I really do this or shouldn't I, and everything. But as long as something is going to be said that is going to definitely strike something up, and as long as the other person keeps remembering it, then they won't leave it down. It is going to be another Kim and Foxy situation, or another Nicki and Cardi B situation. They're definitely going to be stuck in this circle for a while, and just keep being stuck in this cycle and circle. It's definitely going to be something. And lots of she said, and lots of people kind of like taking parts or just saying something, and it's going to be unfair. I feel like this is what female rap has resolved into, or like turned into. It's going to be sad. It's just like very sad to witness, like how a hip hop loving space is just turning into kind of like endless petty fights, instead of just like finally just going at one another and then just like letting go. But at the same time, it is what makes it more entertaining and everything. I think this has been happening for years. So yeah, it's just like you think that it'll change, but I guess the core of this has turned into the competition, and the core of all of this has turned into something much more serious and at times tragic, with how people, and unfortunate with how people deal with stuff like this. And I would hope that like that it wouldn't come to this between them. But as I said, it's definitely going to be messy, and it's going to be entertaining for some, but at the same time it's like it's getting tired, like its burden is getting tired. Like, let it go or grow up, and yeah, the public and the industry will have a blast with this. But at one point it's going to be like, enough, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this, and like pack it up, or just end this once and for all. And we shall see how this will be working out. And yeah, this is what is the tea with Spice and Latto.